Since the 1st of September, many of us have finally had the pleasure of enthralling ourselves into the world of Starfield. One of the things I noticed right away was how identical the experience of playing the game was to watching one of Bethesda's Starfield showcases. That was a concern of mine. I always wondered, would it really feel that epic? Another thing I noticed is something that may turn some people off. The game doesn't hold your hand. Because of this, I grew a huge appreciation for the moderately slow pace of the game at the beginning, but the game definitely needs more tutorials. Arriving in New Atlantis was surreal. The population was exactly as depicted in the Bethesda showcase, but one problem became apparent. I had no idea how to get to the hall, or what some people refer to as the lodge. It was a momentary concern as I struggled to figure out the navigation mechanic of the game. As I walked through the city, there was a moment when I accidentally bumped the scanner. Just as I was getting ready to disengage the scanner, I noticed these white arrows on the ground. At that moment, I felt as if a huge weight had been lifted off of my shoulders because as much as I love random exploration in video games, I also love to know where I'm going when I'm playing a mission. In my experience while playing on the Series X, the scanner can be a little inconsistent and frustrating because the arrows don't always appear when you engage the scanner. This is something that Bethesda definitely needs to fix right away. But then again, maybe some of you have a different experience. But I do love the convenience of using Quick Resume on the Series X. It isn't always consistent, but when it works, man, is it amazing. The experience on the X is a lot better than I anticipated, I must be honest. It has its disadvantages, but overall the game is very much enjoyable on the Xbox. Sometimes I have a hard time selecting items to pick up or a bed to sleep in, but considering the convenience of just being able to plop down on the couch, turn the Xbox on with the controller button and play this magnificent game, these definitely are minor inconveniences. The first-person view is definitely better while in combat on the Xbox, so while playing the game on the Xbox, I rarely use the third-person option for combat situations. But honestly, the game just seems to run better in first-person on the Xbox. In fact, it runs very smoothly. It's not horrible in third-person, but it just runs a lot more smoothly in first-person. But one problem that haunts Starfield, no matter which version or which platform you're playing on, is the subject of storage. But there are two immediate tools available to the player to solve this issue, and one that becomes available after you're assigned your living quarters at the lodge. The immediate solution is the character you choose to tag along with you. You can use them as a mule to carry loot. I'm not really sure if there's a limit to that because if there is, I have yet to reach it. The second solution is your ship storage. On your ship, you have ship storage, which I view as a kind of locker, and right across from that, you have the captain's locker. You also have access to a cargo hold area, but be careful because if you're carrying contraband, the cargo hold is definitely where you want to store it. I definitely suggest doing more research on the subject of carrying contraband before doing so. But when it comes to storage, the best option is a safe which is conveniently located in your living quarters at the lodge. The best thing about this option is the amount of storage is infinite, and while using it, you also have access to your ship storage. But I want to end the video on an important topic. In fact, I'd like to give some advice. We've all seen attacks on this game, but one thing that most people don't realize is this. Many of these attacks are financially motivated in one way or another. This has always been an issue in the gaming industry. And now that X, better known as Twitter, pays for clicks, it is even worse. People will now say things that even they don't believe to get more clicks, and if you click on it, you're contributing to this culture of misinformation and deception. Now you'll have people pretending to go insane and act like buffoons over pronouns and labeling everything as either leftist or woke, which, by the way, used to mean something totally different, but let's get back on topic. All of these people are the equivalent of snake oil salesmen, and naturally in this sort of environment, people will even resort to just straight up lying. Take for example David Jaffe, who embarrassed the guy who claimed to hate Starfield. You see, David made up a part in the game that doesn't exist. When David asked him if that was the part he hated so much, the guy basically said, "Yeah, Dave, that's the part. That's the part I hate so much." Then David dropped the bomb on him. He informed him that he made the whole thing up, and the part that he described is not even in the game.
Got that yet with Starfield, but I'm not far in it. But I want to say one thing though. The game is so far based on word of mouth, reviews. It's a disappointment.
Okay.
I don't think it's a bad game, but it is a disappointment considering.
I mean, how much have you played?
Like 3 hours.
Okay, and what's disappointing about it to you?
To me, it just doesn't get... First of all, I thought the intro was horrendous. I think the writing...
What about the intro? What about the intro was horrendous?
It just was very lackluster. Like, if you compare it to Skyrim, immediately you're fighting a dragon, and then you're sent out into the world to do anything you want. Like, literally, anything you want. Whereas this is a little bit, like I said, it's a little more shallow. It's a little bit more... It's a little bit almost more like Mass Effect, where it's more story-oriented. It's pushing you in a certain direction.
Do you think that was the choices you made? What is her name? Lynn or Lim, the lady who's your boss? Do you think part of it is just the fact that she asked you to burn the bodies and shit, and it should be more of a choice versus she forces you to do it, and it's almost like it's scripted at that point?
That's some of it.
I mean, that didn't happen at all in the game, so I'm assuming you haven't played it yet, correct?
No, I swear to God, I played it, but it's
wow.
Like when you go to...
And sadly, this person isn't the worst of them. One highly influential anti-Xbox YouTuber claimed he stayed up late into the night, creating characters and beating bosses in Starfield. But the problem is this: there are no bosses in Starfield. For the first time in my life on social media, I'm now studying the functions necessary to filter out these types of individuals. Some of these people have even bragged about getting paid in their comment section, addressing people that are calling them stupid and other insulting names. Please understand, these people aren't stupid, and when you click on their tweet to call them stupid, well, you may as well walk right into their bank and deposit the money right into their account. And to be clear, this is the same for YouTube. Personally, I've even stopped watching many of the mainstream gaming media outlets, including some that I like. IGN was the first to go. I dropped IGN probably about 2 years ago. Not because I think they're ponies, but quite the opposite. You see, for IGN, it's about that bottom line, and PlayStation is a huge financial supporter of IGN. And keep in mind, I'm not talking about bribes or anything like that. I'm talking about transparent, legal business transactions. This is not to mention the fact that PlayStation has a much larger following than Xbox, and fans that love hearing good things about the PlayStation and bad things about the Xbox. It's business when it comes to IGN, and never personal. If Xbox ever became as much of a financial contributor to outlets like IGN, you would suddenly see an immediate change in the way they report their stories, and suddenly all of those numerous oopsies, like forgetting to mention the fact that games are also coming to Xbox as well as PlayStation, would suddenly vanish. But when you click on their links, you're also contributing to the exact same thing you claim pisses you off. And as far as those individuals who are better known as ponies, many of these individuals probably don't even play video games. And when you click on their tweet to insult them, sarcastically or otherwise, they're laughing all the way to the bank. I'm even getting tired of hearing pro Xbox personalities complain about outlets like IGN. Some of these people are having shows that last well over an hour, and during the entire time, for the most part, that's what they're complaining about. The best way for you to fight this is to enjoy your games and stop supporting them with your clicks. And remember this, when you're on X, or better known as Twitter, and you click on one of those Xbox haters and they have that blue check next to their name, all you're doing is putting money in their pockets. Look, I'm not telling you not to have fun laughing at these people. Just do what I do. Watch the YouTube creators that have practically become professionals at dismantling these people. So much so that the grifters often block them. Trust me, they watch people like Oh No It's Alex, Andy Pants Xbox, and Fratanga Plays. These guys actually get to them, not your negative comments on their tweets. But now for that treat I promised at the beginning of the video, but let me set this up. A player gets into his ship, sits down in the captain's seat to take off, only to discover he can't. When he exits the captain's seat, he soon discovers why. But before I show the clip, let me say thank you for watching the video, and if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. And please don't forget to like the video because it does make a huge difference. Again, thanks for watching.